platforms, or you view it as voice?
Sure. Before answering that, on the S-word versus A-word debate, so I'm on the
Yeah.
other end of it. I believe that unless you are bundling data or shopping, I think S-word is the only sustainable way. I think young India is willing to pay the right amount for the right content. I think sometimes A-word makes us lazy and eventually it's not sustainable. Slight point of disagreement on that. And absolutely, I think the YouTubers work very, very hard. Good luck for the show. On video, or miss the podcast. I think, local. I don't use the word regional anymore because that was discovery for me, right? For us North Indians, anything south of Vindhyas was Madrasi in South India. But that is four local languages. There are some 20 local OTTs in other languages around the country. I think local, national and global will coexist for a very, very long time. It's a very, very nascent industry. Is consolidation and aggregation going to happen? Absolutely. And I think for some of the local independent players, that's the way to sustain. But I think there is a huge opportunity, and I'm adding the niche content creators as much as the local language creators here to continue to use the digital economy to create what you're passionate about. Today, the viewer is smart enough, they'll find your content and somebody will put an ad on it and you learn from it. Or somebody will pay for it. What I believe is that the growth prospect is infinite. I'm not saying that because we started in Telugu. Just look at how Telugu cinema has done to cinema, right? And people are now crossing directors from South are creating Hindi films, and I'm sure it will happen vice versa. And the same thing, there is no reason why it won't happen in OTT. That the languages will grow, Hindi will continue growing, more languages will come, more genres will come. You know, the equivalent of Discovery and Nat Geo is still yet to come on OTT, right? It's around the corner. Music. So, very excited about it. Actually, the kids at the back end rows, you guys are privileged. We are at a fantastic convergence of TV, which is still growing. You know, cinema, oh boy, it's back last year. OTT, which will grow, and gaming, we are just touching the scratching the surface.
Thank you for that. One last question that I obviously will pose to you guys. I think we can take a question also from the audience is Rahul, I mean, you've been here the longest, we are here with you. If there are asks, as we're talking about opportunities and challenges, if there are asks that we can make to regulatory bodies or the government in terms of ensuring success for our industry, what are those enablers in your mind which will really help see growth for us and we probably need to talk more often about?
Well, consistency in policy is the most important thing that we need. And working, I come from a company which is one of the oldest pay TV broadcasters in the country. We've had a constant, I wouldn't say, so a constant back and forth with TRAI, which really plays a very important role in our lives. And I've been going to TRAI for 20 years, and for 20 years the problem has been the same. Just today a new chairman of the TRAI has been announced, and we really hope that price controls, etc. are re-looked at. Because the only thing in this country where the price is controlled is the price of your channel. A soap manufacturer can put any price into the soap, but a television broadcaster has to adhere to a certain level, and that needs to be unleashed for the energy of the country to be unleashed.
That's pretty spot on. Harsh, would you like to add anything?
Not really. I think from a OTT and sports on OTT perspective, which is our current focus, I think both on the supply side and demand side, there is the scale is palatable. I think just letting that play out, without any restrictions, which is how it is. I think that we'd be happy with that. So letting the market take course, letting the market take shape. We are providing content free to to our consumers, we are serving our advertisers and other customers, I think. So from a regulatory perspective, no real asks.
Great. Well, I'm only posing this question, guys. We have a few influential people in the audience because it was streaming. So just want to make sure that the experts' point of view is heard. Neha, anything you want to add?
No, I feel like the sign-off of every actor is always that हम content बनाते रहेंगे, आप please देखते रहिए. And then I mean, as far as policy is concerned, we have very learned people who have the ask. We let them always take the lead. हम लगते हैं कि जैसे हम front foot में खेलते हैं, but actually we're right at the back, just trying to create content. So yeah, just watch it. Like for us, it's always the audience, and let every content take shape and just let us tell our stories, and you sit and watch and listen and enjoy.
You're basically pushing Rahul's ask, like.
No, I'm not pushing anyone's ask. I'm just saying because I genuinely खुशबू और मैं सबको ही बताना चाहती हूँ कि शायद ऐसे लगता है कि हम बहुत सालों से like if somebody talks to me or asks me, I don't know very much except set पे जाना, स्क्रिप्ट को एक होता है कि एक स्क्रिप्ट पढ़ो, उसके बाद सेट पे जाओ, उसके बाद अपना काम करो, बस ये प्रे करो. राइट बिफोर एवरी फ्राइडे सिटिंग ओवर देयर कि होपिंग दैट पीपल watch you. So I have to bring the same emotion that I feel behind closed doors here on stage. That our ask is always कि आप बस हमारा काम देखो and end में कभी कभार ताली बजा दो, अगर नहीं बजाने का मन करता है तो फिर हमारा बैंड वैसे ही बज जाता है. So it's fine.
Thank you. Amit, Ajit, Tamir.
My take is that the growth of media and entertainment sector would not have been possible without policy making and policy decision. And I think the government has done a great job of that over the last decades that we've been around. I think in terms of net neutrality, in terms of data, they continue to do a great job. Of course, there will be differences over there. We just need to find a middle ground for that. Yeah. In terms of policy making, I'm not too.
Very happy. He's not posing any additional.
I'm not looking.
You're not confused.
Yeah, I think it's an incredible talent, like I said before. And I think as much as the government, I think as an industry need to come together a lot more. I mean, we have the most unlikely collaboration and still have. So I think because there are content creators all over. There are lots of individual islands of excellence in OTT and television, all of it. But I think the collaboration will help us get scale, but we don't have the scale. And compared to some of the bigger countries with much lesser demographic footprint. So that's one. And second is I think we are getting to 4G and 5G. And enough people on this dais who can influence this. But there's half of the country which is still not accessing the content. They want to watch the content, but they don't have it. I mean, piracy is there because they don't still have access to it. So I think we can all work together. And sir, thank you for being here. We need help from the government, but the pricing points are covered by it. But I think we need scale, and that scale will come through collaboration. We are still very, very small.
Awesome. Well, thank you everybody for your expert thoughts. I'm pretty sure the audience enjoyed that. In the interest of time, can we just take 2 quick questions in 5 minutes from the audiences?
Of course, but before we go forward, I would like to extend my warm welcome. Please, can we all stand up for Man Justice Gyan Sudha Mishra ji. He's been a former judge, Supreme Court of India. Also amongst us, we have Shri Shankar Agarwal ji, who's the former Secretary Government of India. Thank you so much for gracing the profession. Due to the interest of time and looking at the constraints that we have, I would now like to invite Shri Nandan Jha and also Ma'am Sudha Mishra to please come and grace our esteemed panel of the first session. I would request sir to please felicitate Mr. Rahul Jory ji. Mr. Harsh Srivastav. We would now felicitate Mrs. Neha Dhupia. Thank you so much, Mr. Amit Dhanuka, for taking out time and sharing your valuable feedback.